why don't you introduce yourself real quick and what
Okay,
we're going to be talking about
so
today?
I'll just make it very quick. My name is Simon. I'm basically, I wouldn't say a former Rev fan, more so a former viewer of his. But I used to watch him like fairly like often back in the day. I think I started really watching him around 2020 when he
Mm-hmm.
was literally mostly like a VTuber drama type of focused channel, like anime drama type of thing. When he was just basically reading out tweets when he was just like a Bulblex clone, if you want. Be honest with you, there's a few things that made me turn away from him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when he went after a artist mutual VTuber who I'm not very familiar with. I don't know them personally, but I
Mm-hmm.
knew but the artist friend that I knew kind of was like buddy buddy with them, and he went after them for over like some the whole back when the day when all your likes are public type of shit. For tweeting
Mm-hmm.
out lolly stuff and basically like virtue signaling about how lollies is bad and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of deserved back in the day, but again, it was still the fact that it was a moot from a moot. So it was like, okay, I don't know how to feel about that one.
So
And
so you
what?
had a moot. Okay, so to be clear, you had a moot, and then RevSaysDesu went after them, and you had a problem with that.
Well, more so a moot of a moot. It wasn't really much of a
Oh,
problem for me personally, but I'm
okay.
pretty sure my actual mutual did have an issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I
Okay.
really started to question him was when he went after a voice actress who
Mm-hmm.
I would say, I wouldn't say close friends with. I'm more so like Twitter mutuals at that point. I would interact with here and there
Mm-hmm.
for basically no fucking reason that he needed to pay the bills that month. And
Really?
it was funny. Yeah, it was some dumb fucking drama. She had a tendency to post some very preachy like posts and
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but he went after her for completely no reason other than she was being preachy.
Okay.
And at some point, and that whole situation led to him getting collectively ass blasted by the VA community. And he literally made like a video crying about that entire situation and like playing the victim, which is something
Oh.
I've noticed with Rev is that
Mm-hmm.
he tends to kick the hornet's nest a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
also has a bad tendency of playing victim when the hornets actually decide to come out and sting him. Like
I
he's a
see.
massive fucking cryboy.
Yeah, we'll see because I don't know all that much about his Twitter beefing. All I know is that he likes to make videos on people, generalize things, not really show all that much of the other side's like best arguments, you know?
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah. He does that
what
a
he
lot.
does, yeah, what he does is that he takes a really shitty argument from the other side and then he paints that as the entire other side, right? And then after he paints
Exactly.
that as the entire other side, he farms some views off of it and then he kicks another hornet's nest. But typically, when the other side gives like really good criticisms, he doesn't actually seem to engage with these. Which makes me think that he is grifting, right? Because I don't just say like anybody is a grifter. I don't just go like, yeah, you know what, these people are grifter. But the thing is that if you are winning on the point and you consistently win on points, right? That's good for your channel. These things are good for your channel. But in order to kick more and more hornets nests down the road, and you don't actually like hit hit back right at the hornets when they make a bad point, then that makes me think that you're being a little bit disingenuous, right? So yeah.
Well, yeah, but again, that's always been a thing with Rev. He doesn't actually like check the whole argument. And that's also another thing that I personally don't like is that he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
do his research on a lot of topics as well. Like, give you an
Yeah.
example, fucking Grums, for example. I
Mm-hmm.
personally want to believe when I first that was basically like the straw that broke the camel's back that made me like pull away from him was when he started like hard simping for Grums and doing his viewers a disservice by never mentioning his crowdfunding scam, his past failure with Firefall, and the infamous sperm bus he was known for. And all this is one Google search away, and he can find this entire backlog regarding Grums. But he doesn't do it. Because at first I wanted to believe he doesn't do his research. But then I started realizing, no, it's not that he doesn't do his research. He doesn't actually give a shit about this, and he doesn't actually care about being honest and telling the truth. It's all about trying to push a narrative and to get his viewers to watch him for Outrage Farm.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And I've had this encounter of my own because he did that with me, right? With my videos. And that blew up into an entire thing because Asmongold then reacted to his video, right? So I totally know what you're talking about now, right? Because I remember there's one specific example I can bring up, right? Like, for example, there was this part where I talked about USAID. I brought up a bunch of facts and statistics, right? But then he actually skipped over that part. He skipped over that entire part, and he said, "Oh, this is just a bunch of magic." Like, he literally called it, not magic, but he said that I was doing tricks or something. Like, this is his
tricks.
words verbatim. He said tricks. It's like, what? What do you mean by tricks? Like statistics, data, and information? That's tricks, right? Or do you mean evidence, right? So the fact that he skipped over all the things, and then he also brings up the fact that I don't. Did he bring up the fact that I don't even give any examples or something? Like, do you remember if he said that?
I don't remember him bringing up the fact that you don't give any examples, but the whole tricks part, I think that was him basically trying to say that you were doing tricks on it, meaning that you were trying to spin it or whatever, or trying to defend it to a point where it's like, it was a sarcastic, backhanded comment if you want. Yeah. Like, you know how you do tricks on a pole dance or whatever? I think that's what he was trying to get at.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Mental gymnastics, basically.
Right. Yeah. So you wanted to come on to talk about this Nayara kind of situation.
Yeah, the whole Nayara thing. That was an interesting one.
Yeah, give me the rundown. What's going on here?
Okay, so the rundown with Nayara, and again, it's not just her. He also dragged in another VTuber on one post. I think I actually showed it to you. But the long story, TLDR version of it is that Nayara is very pro gender affirming care for minors.
Okay, who is Nayara first? Who is Nayara?
A trans VTuber. She is a trans VTuber. I believe she's from Germany, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah, that's more or less what I know from her. I interacted with her a couple of times on Twitter. DM'd her when he actually went after her. But yeah, it's basically the long story of it is that Nayara is very pro gender affirming care for minors and who suffer from gender dysphoria. And extreme cases, which she has gone time and time again to explain that these instances are extremely fucking rare, and when they do happen, there's a whole fucking procedure that they have to follow, a whole checkbook and balance with it. And basically what Rev is basically said is that he was trying to, you're a groomer because you were trying to push this stuff onto minors and whatever. It's like, brother, it's like, did you actually watch her video where the video that you basically cited her in that tweet, basically slandering her? Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, bro, like, I even commented on that. I believe it was the start of my first video, where basically saying that, hey, it's like, you did not watch her video. It's not that deep. Like, we should educate kids about these stuff in school, not basically all the whole 9 fucking yard. But it's like, fuck. And then basically what he goes to say is that I might be a danger to children. I'm looking at him like, dude, this is extremely fucking ironic coming from the motherfucker who doesn't like it when people water down the term pedophilia when talking about lollies.
Right. Yeah, exactly. saying groomer, right? But then not
Yeah,
really understanding that groomer, the term itself, is referring to a specific meaning, right? Groomer meaning that somebody is trying to gain the trust of somebody in order to groom them into a position where they're able to have sex or something, right? Or to
yeah,
send food
basically,
over or something like that,
basically,
right?
basically.
And yeah, and it is kind of interesting. I get where critics are coming from, right? But the thing is that when you say that these are groomed, it kind of misses the point that the goal of these transgender related cares is because there is a mental illness that needs to be treated. This is a mental condition that needs to be treated, and I don't think trusting the doctor in order to carry out a gender care or trusting the parents and the doctors is an act of grooming. So yeah, no, so
And
so I
it's
kind
not
of I
just the
kind of get what you
doctors
mean.
as well. It's not just the doctors. There's a whole procedure that they have to do. They have to go with psychologists, psychiatrists. There's a whole procedure, and it's like 2%. It's like 2% cases, like general. Like
Probably one
Nyara, like
percent, probably less than one
yeah,
percent. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. It's like it's very rare instances, and I even show like Nyara explained it very well herself in her
Hmm.
video addressing Rev and Straub when they started dogpiling on her a few weeks ago.
Okay, so this happened a
Bec-
few weeks ago.
yeah, ever since Rev made that initial tweet, basically trying to slander Nyara and this other trans VTuber, this back and forth has been happening very frequently with Nyara and Rev. It's like, and I don't blame Nyara because basically Rev just went straight up and went and slandered her, and it's like she's like, no, I'm not fucking taking this from you. Fuck you, man.
I see. Can you send me the video of
I
Nayara
believe I think
responding
I did.
to?
I think it was I
Oh, was it on
sent it to
Twitter?
you in yeah, it was on Twitter. I sent it to you there. I even sent you the
Mm,
link in the Rev's post as well
yeah.
there too. So yeah.
Okay, I think I see it. Okay, cool. So now what is Nayara doing?
Nyara's
Like,
now is basically just like she's not really. I think she's made ever since she's made that recent video about him. She's kind
mm,
of distanced herself from the drama. She'll comment every here and there whenever he says something really fucking stupid, like
right.
basically like I've been doing as of late.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since then, she's not very much involved uh with them anymore. She has also basically from what I've seen today, she's actually going to talk with do an interview with one of her critics if you want and try to
Mm-hmm.
meet them halfway if you understand.
Okay.
And I was actually surprised when I saw this post because I know exactly who this person is,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen that they were very much like against her and very in favor of some of the stuff Rev said. So I was surprised when I saw that,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I think it's interesting. I think honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually good that are people actually willing to hear her out, and even though they
Mm-hmm.
do not agree with them and try to understand, which is interesting. So yeah, hold on, I'm going to try and
Okay.
find the post in question.
Mm-hmm. There's this
Where is
person named
it?
Sound who apparently wants to jump in and talk or something. I don't know what they want. Are you
Oh my
high, good
god.
sir? Good sir, are you high?
No.
Dude,
No.
are you high? Literally
Yeah, well,
10 seconds
I was
later,
about to say,
no.
yeah, it's kind of.
Know that much about
Well,
it.
there was a whole drama with Rev
Hmm.
in that whole
Okay.
situation. I'm pretty sure you don't care because it's not really your field, and you're more so
Hmm.
the into the politics stuff of it.
Yep.
But that one was just interesting because Rev basically made a fucking rage bait clickbait video where he was bitching a bunch of irrelevant stuff that made zero fucking sense, which caught the eye of the main lead developer of the game, who then called him out on it. And he started crashing out over Twitter about this.
Jesus.
3 weeks. 3
Uh-huh.
fucking weeks, and he made 3 videos on the whole thing, trying so hard to cope and not regain some of his bruised ego. It was legit. It was chef's fucking kiss to watch, and it also woke up a lot of people to.
So I kind of want more details. What was he pissy over?
He was pissy over basically this. This. I'm trying to remember what the exact
Is it something
name of it.
gay or lesbian or?
No, it had something to do with like a. It was something that the parents' company, Play On and Embracer Group had put in place. It was a community. It was a community guideline thing that they were basically doing. I'm trying. I don't remember the exact name of what the fuck it was, but I'm trying to having a brain fart moment at the moment.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Hold on. Fuck. It was basically it had something to. Basically, it was like a new fucking thing where if you're going to interact within like their community tabs and whatever, you have to respect certain rules and whatever. And it was basically as simple as don't be racist, don't be hateful, don't be an asshole, just behave. Just behave and that's it. And he basically got pissy about this, saying, "Oh, this is woke, this is whatever." And it was like, dude, how the fuck is saying that this shit is woke? Like, you're just basically telling people to behave while interacting in your community tabs and in your community threads. So he basically made this video going after the main developer, made a very clickbaity title of it, where he was actually defending the game and some of the choices that they were making. But his video title was extremely misleading and very clickbaity. And basically the whole thing he was complaining about, he was going after the dev for it. The lead dev. And it's like, dude, it was the parent companies who put in this shit.
Right.
For the community. The main dev probably had nothing to do with it and was probably not even aware of it. So it's like already you're not directing your anger towards the right person, and what you're getting angry over is it's a nothing burger.
Do you know what the developer said specifically to?
Hold on. Well, I actually made a whole video covering it. That was like my it was mine. It was the second most recent one actually that I made. Hold up. Copy link.
We could actually pull it up later, like in the stream.
Well, yeah, if you want, sure. But yeah, it was a very funny crash out to cover, and he was getting flack from a lot of people of the way he was behaving. Like Fritanga Plays was another one who was calling him out on this. And Fritanga Plays, if I'm pretty sure you don't know who he is, he is a mostly like gaming channel who mostly like does funny skits and memes and whatever, mostly trolls if you want. But he's also a very big Trump supporter. But he's one of those Trump supporters who has a fucking conscience and doesn't follow everything that the goddamn cult says. And he actually doesn't bullshit his audience.
Okay.
He was very big on the anti-woke grift as well until he started realizing that there was a lot of shit he was not on board with. And now he's kind of pulled back on it, and now he's actually calling out people in the anti-woke grift. It was to the point that even he found him that he was being fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And again, smaller YouTuber, he's not as big
he's
as
not
Rev.
a big one. Okay.
Well, he's sizable. He's fairly sizable, but he's not
How many?
massive. Like, I think he's like at 70, 80K subs at the moment, something like that.
That's still a lot. Yeah, that's still a lot.
Yeah, it's still a lot. He's not a small YouTuber, but he's not massive either.
And you're saying Rev called out this person?
No, Rev didn't call him out. He basically clowned on him to some extent. He commented on the situation. But yeah, Rev is basically just, he's pissing off a lot of people and burning a lot of bridges at the moment.
Did he have a lot of bridges, but then he just keeps on backstabbing people?
Well, that's the thing. It's not that he's backstabbing people, it's that he basically, his antics drive people away because he doesn't actually practice what he preaches, and he's a massive fucking hypocrite with a huge ego. I know a couple of, like I said, I know a few people who used to watch him, because a lot of my viewers that actually do watch my video are, like me, former Rev viewers that have turned on him over the years. And I personally don't, and again, I don't despise Rev. I just think that he's full of shit and kind of needs to be taken down a notch when it comes to his ego and his bullshit. Because he, every now and then, he will say things that I do agree with. Not 100%, but every here and there he will say stuff that I agree with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like he's not entirely unreasonable, right? Like, for example, some of his videos, especially talking about some, really ridiculous, indefensible shit. Like, obviously, he is in the right? But then, at that point, you might as well say, "Oh yeah, Hitler is a bad person," right? Because it's like some stuff is he doesn't give hot takes that I feel like I actually respect, if that makes sense, right? Like he would give takes that are very easily defensible, I feel like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, violence is bad, beating up people is bad, right? Or having a crash out and then banning a bunch of people from your Discord server is bad, right? So these feel like these feel kind of weak, right? Because when I watch a commentary channel, typically the best videos that I watch are the ones where they actually give a hot take and they stand on their ground. And I'm like, okay, wow, this person is actually standing on business, right? So yeah, that's just kind of
and again, like lukewarm takes, they're very easily defendable. And again, that's technically his stuff. It's when it's like no fucking shit, Sherlock. It's like you're basically saying that it's bad to water down the term pedophilia. No fucking shit. Why are you watering down the term groomer though? And that's, again, I don't mind. Like, his takes are not inherently bad, but they're just, if he's going to preach to people with some of his takes, at least have the fucking decency to practice what you preach. Which, as of late, I'm pretty sure it's because his ego is now overinflated, he doesn't fucking do. He loves to to preach to his viewers, oh, you shouldn't water down the term pedophilia. Yet goes and calls people he disagrees with groomers or potential danger to children. It's like, what do
you think of like him always trying to latch onto Asmongold?
Personally, I think he's a massive fucking dick sucker. Like, I think it's such a one-sided fucking like relationship, because I'm pretty sure Asmongold genuinely does not give a shit about this kid, about this punk. He doesn't care about him, and the only reason why he actually like sucks up to him is because he likes having his videos featured by Asmongold. Even though Asmongold is like a completely fucking and utter piece of shit retard who has no fucking clue what the hell he's talking about. Right. But yeah, it's a very much one-sided relationship, and I've called him out several times on that. I think it's pathetic because he's such a massive ass kisser. Like, you are kissing the ring, buddy. Like, you're not even hiding it. You are bootlicking this guy so hard just to stay featured in his videos because you need the fucking attention, the clout, and you guys share the same audience. It's like, fuck.
I guess you can say he's like rimming his asshole.
Oh, exactly. And the worst part is Asmongold probably doesn't even give two shits about him.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like Rev is trying to get into Asmongold's orbit, even though Asmongold doesn't really keep an orbit around.
Well, he used to. It was called, it was his little group, that he got, that they parted ways with him recently. Fuck, who was it
OTK
again?
isn't that much of an orbit, though. OTK is more like mutuals, a bunch of mutually really big streamers, yeah.
Yeah, but it was still somewhat of an orbit if you want. They were somewhat considered friends, but now he's no longer in OTK anymore because they kicked him out.
Yeah,
Or
the rest of
they mutually
OTK,
parted ways with him.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know any more information on that? Do you know why he parted from OTK?
Honestly, I'm just as much in the dark as everybody else. I have no fucking idea, but if you were to ask me, I got a feeling it's because of his fucking unhinged rant when he said with Palestinians being inferior and inferior culture. So it's like, I got a feeling that had something to do with it. And I think that's probably the only reason. Oh no! And again, and I love it so much. Like, I watched your video recently about you covering him, like talking about the whole Texas ban on anime and like AI child pornography. Like,
Yes,
dude, he made a video on that, by the way.
Really?
And he
Okay, I
was
gotta go watch
doing.
it.
Oh yeah, no, and he was doing tricks on that so bad. This guy had no fucking clue how the fuck the fucking justice system works in the US. Like, oh fuck, hold on. I can actually go get you a few of the tweets. Like, this guy is such a fucking...
Yeah, please send me. Please send me. Yeah.
Oh fuck, like, this guy is such a fucking moron.